Super quick, opportunistic video. There's Rich. Hi, Rich.
Hello.
There's a Civic Type-R. Is this an FK2? Two. So I've never driven the FK. I've driven the model before this one, I think.
FN?
FN, yes. That's the Starship Enterprise.
Yeah.
And what came after this?
FK8.
FK8, yeah. They moan and whinge on the internet that a turbo's not a turbo's not a Type R.
I beg to differ.
So you reckon this is like proper Type R then? Is the Type R experience? So the seat's quite high as standard, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've still got this kind of Starship Enterprise thing going on. Okay, here's a transponder key.
First we need to do is turn the RAM off.
Very Einstellungs, much far assistant. Oh, Notbremse assistant. Do you have to turn that off every time?
Yeah.
What happens if you just put it in R mode? Does it turn it all off automatically?
Nope.
Jesus.
Bullshit, that's what that is.
So this is a totally standard car in terms of suspension and engine.
All it's got is the Dixel pads, front and rear.
Yeah.
A Venturi intake and Wagner intercooler.
Right. Oh, you got the Wagner intercooler on it?
Yeah.
Did you need that or did the car come with it on?
No, the car came with it on.
I've got a boost gauge.
Little bit.
Little bit.
Yeah.
Say no more.
I think the next thing we're going to change is the tyres. They've got Cup 2s on currently.
Yeah.
They seem to work for the car.
I think Cup 2s are a fantastic choice for most OEM suspension setups because I think Cup 2s do a lot to the handling of the car that you would do with a dedicated track car. It's what you do with camber. I always feel like you can put Cup 2s on a car with very little camber and it makes it feel like it has good camber. Like my Seat Cupra, I've never touched the suspension, never even touched the geometry, but when you put Cup 2s on it, it feels like a race car.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I've heard a lot about these and the FK8s is if you change the spring rate,
yeah,
then you could use the R mode.
Ah, okay. Yeah, because R mode has a bad rep. But we'll try it without R mode and see what it's like, and then we'll hit R mode like halfway round, shall we?
Yeah.
First impressions of a Civic Type-R. Bit World War I battleship, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's funny, it still feels totally like a Honda from like 2006 with the steering wheel. Doesn't feel ultra modern at all. Okay. I tell you what, it feels loads faster than my Cupra. It's a bit wider than I thought as well.
Yeah.
My first impressions are it's really awesome for a standard car.
Yeah.
I mean, the tyres are still cold, but it's got great feedback. My Cupra doesn't steer like this. My Cupra's a little bit more dead.
Yeah, it's pretty positive.
What's interesting is this still has an R mode to try, and it already feels 10 times more aggressive than any of the other cars in its class standard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really aggressive. It makes a Golf GTI Mark 7 feel flaccid. And I'm just talking driving sensations. Thank you. Looking quite busy down here. So this is the Dixel brake pads.
Yeah. The R23's compound at the front. As you can see, we've got Hawk, we've got Dixel.
Right.
They work better.
Okay, so the suspension's moving quite a lot there over the camber changes. I thought the back moved a little bit quicker than the front. So is it adjustable damping?
Yes.
Right. So if I hit the Type R mode, oh wow, everything's just gone red. Any more power?
No, it's just got more throttle response.
Yeah, a fatter curve on the exponential graph.
What I find most interesting is how much it revs for a turbo car.
Yeah. It does like to rev. Compact's going okay. He's absolutely adamant that nobody's coming past him, isn't he?
Yeah.
Type R mode is a massive increase in compression damping.
Yeah, huge.
It makes the car quite uncomfortable to ride in, doesn't it? We're shaking a lot. I mean, as we press on, I'd say it's helping, but psychologically it's definitely hindering.
You've got to know what you're doing.
You feel a lot less. God, it's a very fast car. It's got loads of power. I keep thinking I'm going to drive it like my Cupra using the torque, but actually it really wants to rev. I mean, that over 6, that's where the power is.
It's got the characteristics of an old Civic.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a million times different to an FN, does it?
No.
It's a little bit wider than I'm expecting most of the time. I keep just clipping the curves. It doesn't have the torque of the Golf.
No.
Uh-oh. Just a lock up on the brake, maybe? Yeah. So it's the guy in the Cupra. He's turned off the ABS and the traction control. He's probably pulled the fuse. But he's getting a lot of lock up now. That's the 3rd time I've smelt that, but it was the first time I saw it. Got it. Hitting the yellow. Well, that's quite a thing. That's a really good base car, isn't it?
I think it's amazing.
Why don't people make these into ring tools? I mean, this is a way superior beast to a standard Golf GTI.
I think the problem is, it's the looks of the car.
Yeah, it looks too much, you think?
Yeah, and people don't like it.
What an engine! I mean, that is a really fun engine. Interesting. Ooh, that's a really cool car. I mean,
Temperatures.
oh, static, 97. My Cupra would be 120 now, easily.
Yeah.
That is one of the most interesting standard cars I've driven of the current generation. Obviously, this is one generation older than the FK8 at the moment.
Correct, yeah.
But still, that's a really cool driving car. And I turned stability control off, and it was off.
Yeah.
Like, actually off.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a good idea. You had to drive a bit. You know, you've driven the McGowan, you've driven Golfs, and I know you haven't driven one of these. And
Yeah.
I was blown away by it.
What a surprise. You know, when you read the magazines, sometimes what you read in the magazines is just bollocks, isn't it?
I think so. I'm 100% convinced every bad report is because of the design of the car, how it looks.
And that's influencing people's opinion before
Yeah.
they've even driven it.
But we all know, you know, it's not about how the car looks, it's how it drives. You know, we could say that about the Swifts.
Yeah.
Or even that, actually, better example, the Nürburgring 1 Series. It just looks, it's a 1 Series, right?
Yeah.
But drive the thing.
That makes a very fast ring tool. I mean, can you imagine this with a bit of suspension work, a bit of camber?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's being thought about.
I bet it is. Well, thank you very, very much for the lap, mate. That's massively appreciated. Oh, FK8 going the other way.
Yeah. They're definitely getting more common. I think the biggest problem still is the price point.
Yeah, they hold their value quite well. Wow, another FK8. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, over here, these still go low 20s for the FK2.
Yeah.
The FK8, then you're looking at low 30s.
Wow.
And when you look at a McGowan, you can go get a McGowan which is, you know, half modified for 15 maybe. Yeah.
And I was going to say as well, the Seat Cupra, with a little bit of luck and a following wind, you can pick a brand new one up for like 32, 33.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Typical Japanese car problem, made in Japan, hit with 1 million import taxes.
Yep.
Yeah. What's the carbon fiber thing that I'm looking at here?
That's the intake for the Inventory.
Right. So that's aftermarket.
That's aftermarket, yeah.
That is pretty cool. Although in some ways it reminds me of driving a Scania van or an Iveco van, and you can just see the...
And fully legal.
Is it? All in the papers?
In the papers.
Alles ist eingetragen, jawohl.